I found TikToks that have the most expensive Dead Rails trains. Let's get right into it. Yo, apparently this is the richest train in Dead Rails. All right, so they literally added so much sheet metal and added a bunch of weapons inside of it. Yo, they added so much. They literally got the Nikola Tesla head in there, all that gold, all the statues, all the paintings. Bro, no, that's actually kind of crazy. No, that's actually like that has to be up there, guys. That has to be up there. All right, we have a top 5 list. Best Dead Rail trains. All right, we have the Beast. This one's called the Beast. I see why, bro. It looks like if you run that into a mammoth, it's gonna kill it. Like, it just looks like a beast. It doesn't even look like a train anymore. You got a werewolf. Oh my God, is that the inside? Oh, rich train. Oh, this is the one that we just seen. So this, they said this is the top 5 best trains. They call it the rich train. Okay, we got the richest train. Okay, it's better than the rich train. It's just richer. It's richest. It's the richest of trains. They're literally using bonds as the railing on the train. That's how you know they're rich. Dead Rails tank train. Yeah, if you get hit with that, say goodbye. You're in the gulag. You're, bro. I don't. Bro, that thing is huge, bro. How'd you even get that much metal? What the? No, that one's a little too big, bro. That, like, how long did it take to even build that? These people, I promise you, these people are building more than even playing the game. A torch train? They called it the Ghost Rider. Oh, they have horses on it. That one's actually cool. Wait, does the train actually smoke this much? Or does he have like shaders on or something? Yeah, I think he's playing with the shaders. That train has to be the coolest one though. There's no way there's a train cooler in that one in today's video. Like, I just don't believe it. Wait, what is this? The Beast? Oh, he had a minigun turn. I didn't see that. All right, apparently this train is even richer and even better. All right, so they call this one the Survivalist train because it has enough bandages to survive you a lifetime. Bonds. Why were the wolves? Never mind. But it has paintings, silver, gold. On the outside, we have more wolves. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. Yo, Dead Rails players have to be the weirdest players of all time, bro. We got werewolves, we got horses, we got all types of stuff, bro. See, this train right here, I think it's like it fits the name, Survivalist train. It's meant to survive the game longer. Right here we have a yellow train. He didn't add nothing to it, but he has like a skin on his train. I don't know how you get that, but it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if it goes faster. It probably doesn't go faster at all. Who knows though? Who knows? All right, this train right here, best Dead Rails train. It says not mine. Oh, this train is really good, bro. That one looks like possible to build. Like a lot of the other trains felt like they probably took hours. This one looks pretty easy to build. My thing with trains, when you're driving it, how do you like see the map when you're driving it? Like, how do you know when to stop? Because like they be protecting the windows, you can't see out the windows anymore. So it's kind of weird. I mean, they have barbed wire, I guess. I don't know. Bro, this video had to be recorded on an iPad or something, bro. This train, I see what they did. They cooked up. But it's not the craziest train in today's video. It's definitely not the craziest train. It looks cool, though. It definitely looks cool. Oh, okay. They got a little bit of money on there. Yeah. Okay. They cooked up, man. They cooked up. You got horses. Oh, they even know the sliding through the door method. With all that armor on the train, I don't even think you need that, though. All right, we have another one. It says all this just to get swarmed by werewolves and die. Yo, just to get swarmed by werewolves and die would be crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. Nah, this train's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's a... Bro, does he have shaders on? Like, why does it look so cool? It actually looks so much better when the lights are off or whatever. When it's dark time, nighttime. No, that one's actually pretty fire. I think this is definitely top 3 best trains of all Dead Rails history. This one's going in the history book of trains. All right, we have most expensive dead rails train. All right, let's see how expensive it is. We have, oh, wait, money-wise, if you sell all that, this train might have the most money on it. They literally have a Nikola Tesla head. They have all those. Well, I guess it's getting cheaper because they're using everything. It's definitely getting cheaper right now. They're wasting the materials. They're literally lightning the entire train, bro. Like, isn't that defeating the purpose of getting all that money? Right here, I don't know what we got going on, but this train is looking massive right now. We got, it's pretty basic. It's pretty cool. Like, this train doesn't look that hard to build. This one doesn't look that bad. Honestly, I give this one like a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, definitely. You're definitely beating the game with that. You could beat the game with no train, honestly, but that's not the point. Oh, whoa. They got a lot of money on there. I don't know if it's the shaders making it look like it's more, but there's a lot of cash on there. Okay, maybe an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment sections, bro. This train's actually pretty insane. Is that a hacker?
He accidentally drank snake oil, but in reality, his friend with a new musician class healed him back to max HP with his banjo.
Oh.
Two players were exploring.
All right, we got 2 players now.
Until he suddenly saw his friend transform.
Transform to a what? A werewolf?
But when he turned back, he realized he wasn't attacking him. This is because he was unaware of the recent update that added the werewolf class, which gave double damage and speed.
Whoa, the werewolf class does not look like that. No, it does not look like that at all. That would be insane if it actually did look like that.
A player once found the rarest item in Dead Rails.
What is it, the Jade helmet? Jade mask, I mean?
He's never seen before. When he went to the trading post to collect it, he got an absurdly high reward. Some say this is even more valuable than the Nikola Tesla corpse. This item being the diamond ore, but no one really knows if this is real or not.
Guys, have you guys ever seen the diamond ore in Dead Rails? I have not seen it yet. I feel like I have seen it one time, but I didn't want to break it because it takes too long.
A player once found a secret overpowered entity in Dead Rails and got one shot because of it. He tried to show screenshots and pictures to his friends, but no one believed him.
It's Nikola Tesla, right?
Later, someone else found the entity again and made a video about it. The entity we're talking about is the Bigfoot, which got revealed once and will possibly be added in an upcoming update.
Wait, I seen that on TikTok.
Once found a secret
I literally seen it on TikTok.
Dead Rails and got
is it real though?
Because of it. He tried to show screenshots and pictures to his friends, but no one believed him. Later, someone else found the entity again and made a video about it. The entity we're talking about is the Bigfoot, which got revealed once.
I literally seen this on TikTok the other day. I just didn't know what it was.
A player once found a game-breaking bug in Dead Rails.
What type of bug are we talking about?
When one of them found an item, he didn't think much of it and just took it with him. But later, the other player accidentally wielded an item to it. This even worked with the turret. This secret item is called the banjo, which you used to be able to wield items to. A player once found
Can you do it anymore?
Dead Rails. Player once found a secret item in
Bro's
Dead
voice
Rails.
got deeper.
He was loading up his train and started his journey until he spotted a weird object in the distance. He got curious, and when he walked closer, he found out it was actually just a tumbleweed, which is located on the left side of spawn.
Yeah, if you get that, you get $50? Is it $50?
He was loading up his if someone uses their ultimate on you,
meet the 3 little boys.
Meet the 3 little boys.
King, Junior with the blicky,
Timmy,
and Billy the not so smart one. As they journeyed toward their destination, they came across a town, a place where they could take shelter before the night came.
Okay.
First, they had to clear out all the zombies to make sure nothing could attack them in their sleep. Once the coast was clear, Timmy came back with loot for the boys. Billy and Junior rizzing each other up on the bed. This made Timmy
what you guys doing?
So he packed his loot and left in the middle of the night. But then out of nowhere, a man jumped out from the shadows and nabbed the boy.
Diddy
was Diddy. He brought Timmy back to his party place where he made the boy perform tricks for him and even asked him to bark. But Timmy refused. Diddy didn't like the boy not obeying, so he shot him. Then he grabbed his corpse and did unspeakable things to him. Once he was finished with Timmy, he tied the boy to dynamite and lit the fuse so that he could drag the boy into the darkness of the cave where no one would ever see him again. The next morning, Billy rushed to wake up Junior out of bed, telling him Timmy got mad and left. But when they went outside, Timmy was nowhere to be seen. He was missing. They decided to take matters into their own hands. The cave split into 2 paths, so Billy decided to go right, while Junior took the path to the left. As Junior was walking, he noticed something on the floor. It was Timmy! Diddy took all his meat and only his bones remained. And that's when
Diddy took all his meat?
Junior too. Diddy
What do you mean by that?
brought him to the farm where he put him to work like a good boy. He did as told and was one of his best workers. And just like Timmy, he made him perform tricks as well. This time with a dress on, but Diddy didn't like the way Junior was dancing. So he punished the boy 1800 style and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Billy
How did he
tried to save
die?
Junior, but it was too late by the time he got there. Diddy had already finished the boy off. Billy was all alone now, with nowhere to run. But this time, he had a plan to end Diddy once and for all. Meet the three little boys.
Who wrote this?
Little pigs are back.
Oh, the
We
three
got
little
Porky with his
pigs.
little shovel ready for action, and Squeaks controlling
I'm reading the
train this
comments.
time.
It says
Quick, Squeak,
Dead
get this
Rail's
train moving, the
YouTube,
wolves
Dead
are
Rail's
coming after
TikTok
us.
is
Wait,
be
what was
doing
that
everything
noise?
except
Porky,
being the
what's
game.
going on? No!
Porky.
The wolves set a trap to blow us up, and they took out Porky. We had to continue without him. But when we got to the laboratory, Porky was there. The wolves had took his corpse and tied him down like some lab experiment. We tried to save him, but then out of nowhere something happened. There was lightning and green mist that covered the area.
They tied
It
that
was too
boy
late,
down?
Whatever they did to him, we couldn't reverse the effects, so we had to leave him before the wolves came back. But as we made our way back to the train, we noticed something was off. The wheels were missing. Then, out of nowhere, a big monster came out from the shadows, destroying our train. I was going to end him right there, but that's when I realized it was Porky. We knew it was no longer him anymore.
Wait,
those wolves had
how's
completely mutated and brainwashed
how's
Porky
Nikola
into one of
Tesla
them. So we
dancing?
hopped back on our horses and made our way to a town to grab some wheels and repair the train. It wasn't an easy task, but our hard work paid off. The train looked good as new and was ready to take out the thing.
You
that
could
controlled
repair the
Porky.
wheels?
But first we had to pull up on those wolves that set up the trap. One by one, we unloaded our mag on each of them. They had to pay for what they did to Porky. Then it was time. Me and Squeaks got geared up and set up turrets on the train, waiting for Porky to arrive. Once he was here, we made sure to use everything we could.
Bro.
We didn't hold back no matter what. I lit
It's
him up
either
in
the
flames
turrets
while
are
he
weak
chased
or
Squeaks,
bro has
but
infinite
inside
health.
He had no idea who we were. Squeaks told me to take cover and run while he took care of him, so I loaded up on snake oil and ran. After the fight was over, I came back to the worst sight imaginable. Squeaks' body was lying there on the floor, lifeless. But he took out Porky in the process. Squeaks died a hero. I couldn't say the same for Porky. He was once a friend, but his careless choices turned him into a monster. So I said my final goodbyes.
Oh,
to
that boy.
and it was time for me to continue this journey on my own. The three little pigs are back. We
Dang.
got Porky with his
He
little
left his
shovel ready
friend?
for action. Dead Rails update just dropped, so I got my buddy Bob to hop on
Dang.
to create the most overpowered duo in the game.
A
The
pack
werewolf
master and a
pack master
werewolf.
class combo. Our mission is simple: conquer the wolves and defeat the final boss with my army. But first, I had to actually tame
Why
the
was he
wolves
flying
myself.
like that?
And it wasn't an easy process at all. Every time I tamed one, it would attack another. Then we spotted a flying unicorn. It tried to escape from us, but failed miserably, so I sent my wolves out to rip it apart. A tasty treat to feed my pack. Once the sun started to settle, it was time for Bob to transform into a beast like none other. I dropped him his loot, and he told me he was ready to spin. Look at the boy, so confident and handsome. As Bob entered, a werewolf popped out from around the corner and jump scared him, so he lit him up. Then the whole tribe of werewolves pulled up, so
What's
we had
the
to
30
whip
of
out
them?
the Tesla gun and teach them all a lesson. This mixed with his werewolf abilities of speed, strength, and health made him seem unstoppable. But I was wrong as he left. He got slapped in the back of his bald head.
Oh my gosh.
Bob got violated. The boy let me down, but he
Bro
had
got
one
I like
final
your
wish.
cut G'd.
To take out the werewolf that slapped him, so I picked up the boy and used him as bait. I guess you could say I solved two
What
problems
the?
at once. Now it was finally time to unleash my army of
He
wolves.
just feed the...
There he was, the big Nikola Tesla himself, coming straight at me. I sent my wolves to attack him, and they completely overpowered him. He was no longer the boss anymore. He was just a pet to me and my wolves. But sadly, one of my wolves seemed to have suffered from some sort of mental deficiency. He just
Bro.
sat there and watched while we devoured the beast. My army of wolves was too powerful for him to defeat. Everything had
How much
led up to
wolves
this
does he
moment.
have?
Bob didn't die for nothing. I made him proud.
How'd you find
As
that
I
many
was leaving, some
wolves?
werewolf god appeared from the sky. It was time for me and my wolves to finish
What?
what we started. The new Dead Rails update just dropped.
Why was there a flying one?
Rails added a musician class. It's
Musician.
simple. You only spawn with a banjo and heal your teammates with it. So I decided to make myself a tank and have 10 musicians protect me. Our first stop was the
Bro got a
We all
clout.
gathered around in one big circle, creating an infinite healing loop. Not even the zombies could hurt us. A horde of them attempted to take us down, but we were too powerful for them. No damage, just pure healing. The bacon boy was sad he lost his banjo, so I made sure to get him a new one. Now the boy was happy.
How
We
you
managed
lose
to
your
tame some
banjo?
wolves and tried to heal
Boy.
them, but unfortunately it didn't work. Eventually, we made it to the castle. My banjo boys followed behind me as I entered the danger zone with a full set of armor. I was the president, and they had to protect me. But I had to make sure they stayed alive, because without their healing powers, I am weak. I thought the coast was clear, until I entered a room with 4 werewolves stacked on top of each other. I had no other choice but to light them up, or else they were going to eat me. As we made our way back to the train, Mr. Blue Star had brought back an evolutionary item. It was a chair that he used to attach to the roof, so he could pretend to be a little spider and spy on me. Then he made me deliver baby oil to him. He said it was to use for later. I found it odd. but I
Baby
trusted him.
oil.
But I couldn't say the same for my
No,
other
that's
teammates.
Diddy, bruh.
They were careless. One after
That's
another,
Diddy.
the banjo boys started to fall apart. We tried to save them, but they started floating away straight to heaven. Luckily, I still had Mr. Blue Star to protect me. He was one of the few that managed to survive. Together, we took on the beast himself, Nikola Tesla. He was camping us inside a building, but I managed to get around him and give him some shots in the back. But then I accidentally tripped.
Why you
So
say it
he saw
like
it as
that,
an
bro?
Opportunity to target my baby oil-loving friend, Mr. Blue Star. My
What?
final healer was down, and with no ammo left, I had to use my jade sword as a final resort. That was it. The chaos was over. I then rushed to get the last banjo boy back up on his feet again. We finally made it. Now he can get all the baby oil he wants. Dead Rails added a musician class.
Bro, what did I just watch, bro?
And King of the Streets himself.
The King of the
Vaughn
Streets.
was scheduled to be
It's
transferred for
Vaughn.
sentencing. We loaded the YN up on the train, and the outlaw locked him up so he couldn't escape.
Yeah,
and told him
load
to
that
stay
thug
put
up
and
on
be a
this
good
train.
boy. But King Vaughn had
And be a
plans.
good boy.
This wasn't his first rodeo, and he knew his work on the streets wasn't over yet. So he planted a dynamite, and it was time to slide.
Bro, what the? Where you get a Hellcat at? Where they get a Hellcat at in this game, bro? What?
Pulling up on FBG and taking each and every one of them out. No one could leave here alive, not after what they did to Vaughn.
Bro.
Well, typical brothers. They tried to steal his Hellcat, so King Vaughn made sure to unload the clip on them. But this didn't stop more of them from coming. Quickly, Vaughn ran into the shop to take some cover, but they all stormed inside and tried to jump him. Still, they were no
Bro,
match
this
for
has to
King
be the
of the
most
Streets himself.
well video I've ever seen in my
After
life.
the job was done, King Vaughn ran back to his Hellcat and took off to catch the train.
How do you have a Hellcat in Dead Rails,
As he made his
dude?
way toward the train, he noticed a familiar face. It was the same outlaw who transferred him for sentencing earlier. He couldn't take this type of disrespect, so he ended him there.
Why is he shooting his butt?
Then he hijacked the train and took off this time to press the leader of FBG himself. He went by FBG Duck. As he was walking down the streets, King Vaughn waited and then popped out and started shooting. FBG Duck shot back, but in the end, he got hit too many times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't over. SmartSchoolBoy 9 was next. The King of the Streets himself.
Who's that?
King Vaughn is the story of how I, Tim Cheese, defeated John Pork with the Nikola Tesla gun.
Wait, why does he say
It all
Nicola
started
like
with the
that,
most
bro?
Beautiful woman I had ever laid my eyes upon. Me and my woman would go
It
on
sounded a little
rides through her
too-
luscious wheat fields whilst
Never
admiring
mind.
each other. But one fateful day, I found her and John Pork together on a date in my mansion. John Pork had used his disastrous charms to woo her into submission. So I
Dang,
had
he
to do
stole your
something about it.
girl.
I couldn't think straight.
He
I
stole
decided,
your
if I
girl.
can't have her, no one can. And so I lit the mansion ablaze. And I wasn't going to let John Pork off easy. He had taken the one thing I had to give away from me. Unfortunately, he got away before I could catch him. I had not given up. I was going to find John Pork, and
Bro,
it was the last
what?
thing I did. I came to a town that was rumored to house John Pork. I asked the residents, but they refused to answer, so I ended them. The last place I had to check was the church. Then suddenly John Pork revealed himself. I challenged him to a Mexican standoff a day from now, and to be there or be squared. And so I left to prepare myself for the most important fight of my life. A fight for my dignity, a fight for my pride. The only way I could avenge my woman is if I won this duel. So after stuffing my pockets with ammo, I arrived at the town. Little did John Pork know I had a surprise for him. He was not ready for my
A
wrath.
Nikola
And so the
Tesla.
duel started. I had been shot many times, but I began to gain the upper hand. Then I struck him down with the Nikola Tesla gun, ending him for good. This is the story of
Let's
how
go.
I, Tim Cheese, defeated John
Come
Pork
on.
with the Nikola. The outlaw wasn't satisfied with our
outlaw.
work, so he lined us up. First he took out my pops, then Mama went next. He didn't want to
Dang.
shoot me though. I was still young, still fresh. So instead, he packed me up and took me to the bank, where he sold me for a single bond. This meant the bank was going to lock me up and put me up for auction, but I couldn't let that happen. I called up my homies, Lil Biscuit and Big Nacho, and told them to pull up and bail me out. They asked what went down,
Big Nacho. His name is Big Nacho.
and I told them the outlaw murked my mama
Insane.
and pops, then sold me for a dime. We weren't letting that slide, so we pulled up to the bank where I was sold and told him to give us the money, but he didn't want to listen, so we Swiss cheesed his eye. Big Nacho grabbed the banknote and opened the vault, and we stuffed all the money into our bags. Man, I wish Pops and Mama were here. They would have loved to see this bread. As we were making our way out, the outlaws pulled up, trying to take the money back. But we weren't going down without a fight. We unloaded every single clip we had, trying to take them all out, no hesitation. Even the horses had to pay the price. But Lil Biscuit, he didn't make it out.
Bro,
It was already
wait,
too late
wait.
for him. He didn't survive the fight. We lost him, but we kept pushing. We pulled up to the outlaw's place and told him, this is for our dead homies, on phonem. But he didn't take us seriously. He just laughed and said, what do you think you're gonna do, boy? There was something in his tone that set us off. Without warning, we put him down, just like he did to my pops and mama. As he tumbled on the ground, we stood above him asserting our dominance while he looked up at us begging. We told him to stay put like a dog and bark for us like a good boy. He was a
Bro,
good listener, so he
what?
did as told, going woof, woof, woof. And that was it. He couldn't go near any more families ever again. The outlaw wasn't satisfied with our
What?
work, so he
Wait, what are these videos, bro? They doing everything but playing Dead Rails right now, bro.
was peacefully eating my grass
Oh
when,
my
out of
God.
nowhere, my master slimed out my relatives. I knew I was next, so without a second
Bro,
thought, I
what?
bolted, desperate to escape before he reached me. Eventually, I lost him, but that's when I realized I was all alone, lost in this cruel world. After a long, stormy night, I finally made it to
Bruh.
some shelter, but I wasn't alone. An outlaw had been living there. At first, I thought he would send me back to the farm, the life I'd been trying to escape.
If you hungry,
But
let me
instead,
pick
he
you up
noticed my
something.
hunger. Without a word, he offered me a bowl of food, and I ate it quickly. And just like that, without asking for anything in return, he took me under his wing, offering shelter and protection from the dangers of the night. When morning arrived, he led me onto his ghost train.
There's a train head.
Transport that no one could detect. It was just the two of us, moving through the shadows. We pulled up on the zombie horde that had been hunting us for days. The moment they saw us, it was too late. They never stood a chance. The chaos
Bro,
was all
he's
around
getting
us, but we were
shot.
unstoppable. As reward, Mr. Outlaw set me up on a date with the Huz, but out of nowhere, my
Bro.
ex-master pulled up unannounced. His anger unleashed on my date. He attacked her again and again, relentless. Then in a flash of madness, he set her on fire. The flames
Bro,
devoured her.
am I-
and all
am I
could do was
dreaming
watch
right now,
him
bro?
hard. And then his focus shifted to me. I fought back with everything I could find, using whatever I had to defend myself.
I
could
gotta
only
be
do so much
dreaming,
as a
bro.
horse, but I had a plan. I went back to get help from my buddy to tell him what happened. So he got the blicky out, and we got to spinning. Once we arrived to the master's headquarters, the outlaw pressed him hard about what he did to my Huz. But the master didn't care. All he said was, "What you gonna do about it, enchilada?" He didn't like the disrespect, so he unloaded the shotty on his He picked him up, and we took him to a place where he couldn't hurt any more horses ever again. And just like that, without any last words, we threw him into the abyss to perish for good. I was peacefully eating my grass when, out of nowhere...
Bro, is this brain rot, bro? This gotta be brain rot, bro. Like.
As I
No
and my
way,
teammate
bro.
John Pork stepped into the town, we
This is
noticed
brain
something
rot,
eerie.
bro.
The streets were completely deserted.
These
No
are the
sound of
funniest
life,
videos I've
nothing.
seen on
The only
Roblox.
thing left were zombies on the ground. We decided to check the bank, hoping to find
Bro.
something useful. But as we walked through the door, it was clear someone or something had already been there. As we kept exploring, we discovered something terrible. A young boy tied up in thick ropes, barely alive. His clothes were torn, and he was left here to rot. Without hesitation,
what
we
the
rushed to cut him loose, and by some miracle, the boy was okay.
Why is
But his
here
words
to look
chilled
like
us to the
that?
bone. He told us that SmartSchoolBoy 9 had done unspeakable things to him and the people.
Bro,
of the town.
what?
As we headed back to the train, I noticed something burning in the distance. No! It was dynamite! I tried to warn the boy, but it was too late. And that's when I saw him. There he was, SmartSchoolBoy 9, standing there guarded by his wolves, while he laughs about what happened to the boy. I wanted to pop him right there, but I couldn't. His wolves could attack me at any second, so I had to step away. Back in the town, John Pork pulled me aside to show me something he'd discovered behind the church. A line of corpses led into a dark tunnel. We knew whatever was inside, there had to do something with SmartSchoolBoy 9, so we entered. The tunnel
Bro,
split into
what
two
the heck
paths,
am I
and we had
watching,
no idea
bro?
which one to take, so we decided to split up, each of us taking a different route. As I neared the end of the tunnel, there he was, SmartSchoolBoy 9. He stood there unbothered, surrounded by piles of gold and silver. Out of nowhere, John Pork snuck up and took him out. We dragged him back to John Pork's place to demand answers, but SmartSchoolBoy 9 remained silent, refusing to tell us anything. He wasn't going to snitch, not on anyone or anything. We thought for a little bit, and in that moment, we both knew what needed to be done. This was for the boy in the town. After the explosion, we returned to the scene, but when the dust settled, we found something far worse. SmartSchoolBoy 9 was gone. He had escaped. He was still out there, and that meant
Bro.
our fight wasn't over.
Y'all tied
As I
him
and my
up.
teammate
How did
John
he
Pork stepped
escape,
into the
bro?
town, we
You guys tied him up. You tied that little boy up with a rope, bro. He did not escape. But anyways, y'all, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Bro, dead rails must be stopped. Bro, what the heck?